We're here in the Archival Processing Lab of the National Museum of the United States Air Force. Our posters come to the museum through the generosity of our donors. When they come to us, oftentimes they're rolled or they're folded or they're very brittle because they are deteriorating. So here in the archives, we humidify them on our humidification table. After they're humidified, we can prepare them for long-term preservation storage. One of the most fascinating portions of our World War I collections is our selection of World War I posters. At the beginning of World War I, the world was just a totally and completely different place than we imagine it now. There was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no television. And as a result, the majority of people receive their news and information through film reels or radio and printed media such as newspapers and magazines. Many government agencies and private organizations utilize posters. Of course, the U.S. Treasury used posters as a way to encourage people to purchase U.S. Liberty savings bonds and war stamps. The American Red Cross used posters as a way to advocate volunteerism. Famed illustrator Howard Chandler Christie produced several very significant and popular recruitment posters of the time. Jessie Wilcox Smith, who was a very popular female and children's illustrator, produced posters for the Red Cross. Posters were hung everywhere. They were hung in schools, post offices, train stations, basically any public place where a large number of people would see them. What was great about that was that you'd have an audience of people who, maybe they didn't get their news from newsreels or newspapers or magazines. They were able to see and view these posters and understand the messaging that the government organizations or private organizations were trying to convey. In our archival collection, we have over 500 posters, and of those 500 posters, approximately 150 of them are World War I era. So of course, one of the most famous and reproduced patriotic symbols of our country was the work of artist James Montgomery Flagg. His 1917 I Want You poster was actually inspired by a British poster that had been produced 3 years earlier. This poster featured the British Secretary of State for War, Lord Horatio Kitchener. Kitchener was an extremely successful and popular military leader in the British Empire, and artist Alfred Lead exploited his commanding looks and style for a recruitment poster commissioned by His Majesty's Stationery Office. The poster was wildly popular and many different versions started cropping up. The poster in our collection is actually the Canadian rendition of Lead's original work. James Montgomery Flagg essentially created the American version by generating really the first visual representation of Uncle Sam as we know him now, using the stern, determined face and the pointed finger. Flagg's depiction of Uncle Sam really solidified him in the minds of the American public as the personification of patriotism and the government and really the power that the government has. Over 4 million copies of Flagg's Uncle Sam poster were created and distributed during World War I, and of course the poster was revived again and very popular during World War II as well. The success and popularity of the posters produced during World War I really came about due to their ability to reach such a wide audience. They were visually appealing, which of course captured the attention of the public, but they were also really powerful in their artistry and simplistic messages. Even today they resonate and they can really give us an idea of the emotional aspects of fighting a war at the front and on the home front.